congratulations, and on several fronts. First of all, for your marriage, we haven't spoken since then. Then you're going to be a mother, and of course, you're a producer, and then Heeramandi is about to stream, right?
Yes. Yeah,
So life is good.
life is good. I'm very grateful that life is shipping out the way it is, and baby steps into production, and now this massive show with Mr. Sanjay Leela Bhansali himself. I'm very happy wherever I am in life right now. Yeah.
And excited about Heeramandi. How excited are you about this show?
I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a special one. And I think that people will also find my role to be memorable. That's all an actor can actually hope for. Not just how popular the role becomes and how well received it is, but just in you know how much humanity there is in the role and how much people remember it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So quite an ensemble cast. The story is also about the feud between two women, and
Yeah.
yeah. So my question is whether there was some kind of rivalry between all these women off screen as well.
No,
And
I don't think so. Actually, we all had very different tracks, and often we shot with just one actor or another actor, not with all of them together. And I just feel like uh, it's actually a misconception because if you go to see, you know, many times you'll see directors and producers saying things like it was a two-hero project, so we
mm,
couldn't get the ball rolling, or that so and so refused to work with another actor. It's usually I find that men have these issues, not really women, because we are just so grateful,
mm,
to be headlining a show like this. And you'll see, sir, in like even in terms of how Netflix is promoting the show, you'll see that they've given equal footage to all the people, the posters. Everyone has a solo poster. Everyone has things going on that are beautiful. So I really think that um, it's definitely going to be very talked about, and it is already.
mm,
But it's
mm.
nothing like that. No rivalry, no nothing. Because
Uh,
especially when the head of the captain of the ship is such an alpha, then it's very
mm.
difficult for anyone else to have an ego about anything.
Yeah, but you worked with Sanjay Leela Bhansali previously too. Tell me what is
Yes.
so special about him? We all go gaga over him.
See, there's a reason everyone goes gaga over him. First of all, he loves his women. He presents them beautifully. Small role, big role, older woman, younger woman, middle-aged woman. He just does a fab job with that. And the second thing is he has very high standards. He
Mm,
asks a lot of himself. Like he he's someone who's as focused on the visual aesthetics as he is on performances. So often actors want to work with him because not just because he makes them look very good
mm,
physically and visually, but also because they do some of their best work with him.
mm. You called your character female Devdas.
Yeah, she is. She is.
Uh, so what were your reference points? Was it Shah Rukh Khan and Dilip Kumar, or was it the ultimate tragedy queen Meena Kumari?
It was actually Meena Kumari because how like emotive value for a man and a woman is very different in a romance. To an extent, uh, the character of Devdas is a very flawed one. He has
Mm,
an ego. He destroyed his relationship first with the woman, with Paro, before she chooses to marry up and sort of have a different kind of life. But in a woman's case, it's always like heartbreak, and my character here is like very not just very heartbroken, but just deeply, uh, mm, has to escape reality with an addiction. So I really enjoyed playing it because it's so different from my other outings like Bholi Punjaban and other things. So yeah.
So since you've already mentioned Bholi Punjaban, and of course there is, there is this Masan actress, and there is this, of course, the actress of Gangs of Wasseypur, and then there is Bholi Punjaban of Fukre. So
Yeah.
are there? I mean, are there two Richas when you in these different movies?
No, not two. I guess I'll have to be like five or six or seven. I don't know, as many parts as I've done. Like the one in Madam Chief Minister is so different. Fukre is different. Gangs is different. Dolly from Oi Lucky is different. And Inside Edge, Zarina Malik is different. So I think it's an actor's job to create something unique and different each time for the audience. Otherwise, what's the point? You're just watching the same actor do the same thing. The character names keep changing, and I don't believe in that. I want to have fun myself, and I want to keep it very surprising. That element of surprise has to be there for the audience to come in and want to spend money or time on
Mhm.
you. So
No,
that's very key for me, for my process.
so in that sense, it's a very good time for actors to be in that, as opposed to where actors were kind of stereotyped, to today when you can play so many different roles.
Yes and no. Like, yes, it's a good time, and there are many avenues and many opportunities. Like, there's the series format, there's theater, there's television, then there's the films, there's short films, and God knows what all. But having said that, even today, like for me to choose to do a character like Lajjo in this show is a very conscious, very thoughtfully picked role. Because had I done one of the other parts, which was maybe um, more gray
Mm.
or more dark in the essence of it, then the audience would also be like, okay, yeah, she does parts like this. But in this case, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will be surprised
Mm.
with what is happening in the show. Um, so yeah, you do get stereotyped. There's no denying. But you have to consciously break that stereotype yourself, by experimenting or by choosing to do something new each time.
Mhm. So, I mean, of course, you already called your character female Devdas, but if you in a few lines, you were to describe your part in the series.
I would say she's a hopeless romantic, uh, heartbroken,
Mm.
and has taken to the bottle with a vengeance because she cannot escape the gilded cage in which she's living. And there's something very beautiful about the heartbreak, and there's something very beautiful about love like this that doesn't really have an ego, that doesn't, and like it ceases to even have self-respect beyond a point. But I hope that I portrayed her with dignity, and I hope that people can, relate with the characters of these incredible tawaifs after they
Mm.
watch the show.
But you talking of a hopeless romantic. Are you one yourself?
I would say in my real life, I'm pragmatic. Like I'm very blessed to have a beautiful partner, very caring, nurturing,
Mm.
and good-looking partner.
No doubt.
But I would say that touch wood.
Mm.
But I would definitely say that I wouldn't be a one-sided lover for sure.
Mm.
I don't think that would happen.
But you talking of why should people invest their time or money? But now why should people invest time in Heeramandi, which like goes back to 1920s or so, and is a tale far removed from their reality of today?
Yeah, because in a sense, uh, these women and the sway they held over society and how they even challenged the authority of the British imperial rulers is something I think will be very interesting for the common audience to watch. And it's a shared history we have for the Indian subcontinent, all of which was being governed by the British, who were just stealing our money and being cruel to our people. So I think that it's not just a person that doesn't know their own context often feels lost. So I think it's while we watch a lot of murder mysteries and thrillers and action thrillers set today, it would be fun to see something set in the past and to see what was going on. And I really do think that no one does period as well as Mr. Bhansali.
Hmm. But were you aware of Heeramandi prior to signing us this series? How well you were clued into this?
Yes, I was a little bit aware, but I was definitely aware of the culture of the tawaifs in North India, in the state of Awadh and otherwise. And people often overlook their sort of contribution to music, to thumris, to kathak, to poetry like Umrao Jan, and to performance arts, and how so many of these arts survived even after the royal courts had gone, because when the British took over everything, it was their quest to sort of destroy everything that was native and beautiful. So a lot of these things only survived because of these women. Like Tumris have survived because of these women, because they kept teaching it to their disciples, many forms of Kathak. So I want the name Tawayaf to
Hmm.
be said, the word
Hmm.
Tawayaf to be associated with
Right.
dignity, with culture, and with
Hmm.
class, as opposed to what popular perception we have today,
But
because that's not
how
real.
challenging it is to go back into a period of which contemporary person like you have little idea about, and how much does that writing and the director's vision help here?
It definitely helps a lot. But I would say that it's good to always do your own
Hmm.
research. Uh, and yeah, the me in 2024 may not fully grasp the realities of the time almost 100 years ago. But having said that, I think uh, I I studied a lot of like the older films. If you're just like moving around the house and you're not even looking at something visually,
Hmm.
the older films, like you can see people in the 40s, how they spoke to each other,
Hmm.
the kind of language they used, the kind of rhythm there was in the
Hmm.
language. You can almost tell the era of the film
Hmm.
just by hearing what film it is. And that's kind of how I approached this film. That's kind of how I approached this character, also to see how I could work on my voice, bring it closer to Meena Kumari ji,
Hmm.
um, to have an understanding of not just her on-screen life, but her on-screen, off-screen struggles with addiction, her heartbreak, her loneliness. I tried to pour all of that into this character. It's really like just a tribute to her from me and from Mr. Bhansali. And I hope people like it and connect with it.
And as an actor, you had to relearn something in this particular
I had
part.
to I had to revisit, like as a child, I was learning Kathak, so I had to revisit that aspect for sure, because it
And
came in handy. That skill came in handy for this part.
and it all came back naturally to you, organically to you.
Took a bit of time because now in our lives with like the Zoom and phone and so many gadgets, we don't have any stillness. We don't have
Hmm.
any tehrav in our life. So for like especially during the song shoot, I had to totally disconnect with anything that I thought was modern and stop hanging out with people and just try to imbibe
Hmm.
because it takes a lot of focus.
And so
Off is a sign, is a giveaway sign of an amateur, and that's what I didn't want.
is this your first part as a dancer in the movies? Uh,
Yes, I would say so.
mhm.
This is the
And
first time I'm doing so much dancing also.
and
And it's very
also,
emotional. It's very like it's almost like having a breakdown.
so I mean, like, is
Sorry about that.
have you reconnected with Kathak, and will you continue to keep this connection going?
I absolutely will. I love the dance form. And I can't wait to actually get done with my delivery. And then slowly, I think Kathak is also a great way to get into shape. Um, and in the films, apart from Madhuri ji, there's been very few,
Hmm.
moments of Kathak. There's been plenty for Bharatnatyam, but not so
Absolutely.
many for Kathak, you know.
Hmm.
So I would love to explore that aspect. But honestly, so few people do classical stuff anyway, apart from Mr. Bhansali.
Hmm.
और है कौन बहुत कम लोग हैं So
but
that's the thing.
tell me, how is he as I mean, as a director, he lets his actors be, or I mean, like he's a tough taskmaster one, yes, and
Yeah, he's tough, but he's not aimlessly tough. He's tough only
right.
when he's not getting what he wants. But
Hmm.
apart from that, he's like the most collaborative director I have worked with. Like he'll give
And,
you a million chances and he'll ask you, what do you think this character will do? Do you think she'll wear these sunglasses and go out? Do you think she's okay to make a fool of herself? Do you
hmm.
think she will say this line or someone else? And he's just really actually extremely collaborative and um he loves his actors. And
And so he let.
as strict as he is on his set,
Hmm.
because imagine, no, you have crows riding on you, your name. The world is like the set is like a whole city that has been built for things to look real. There's 200, 300 dancers in the backdrop. There's expensive lighting, makeup, costume, real jewelry. You and I would be worse. Like, we would have be under so much pressure.
Hmm.
So I think that he's not tough. He's just exacting, and he's very precise. So if you don't give him what he wants, then he can be like, no, no, you have to do it again. And I don't mind doing it for him 100 times. But the contrast is that if he likes a shot, he will praise you to the skies
Hmm.
in front of everyone. He has no ego like that, you know. He's as effusive with his praise as he can be critical of some people. But for me, I had a great working experience with him. I had a great time working with him, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
But was there a particular scene in which I think you had a number of retakes?
Yes,
Mhm.
I had to do 99 takes for one shot, and I
Really?
still didn't get it, I
99.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a shot of dance. But that's the thing. He's a trained classical dancer himself.
Mhm.
Okay, so he knows what it is. And if something is looking even less than perfect, he will not okay it.
Well, now going to your, turning a producer, your movie Girls Will Be Girls is, going great guns and earning a lot of accolades and has won some awards as well. Uh, Tell me about what kind of content would you like to promote as a producer? And if you would, being a Punjabi, you would like to promote Punjabi cinema or talent from Punjab?
I mean, Punjab has a lot of talent. I don't know if you've seen Chamkila recently on Netflix.
Yeah,
I
of
loved
course.
it. Uh,
Yeah.
and I think it's again a very form-breaking, interesting piece of cinema, and a big Diljit Dosanjh fan. Um,
Mhm.
I think that Punjabi cinema is poised in a very interesting way, in the sense that the big family entertainment, like, about the weddings and about the sautans, that's kind of like comedy and it travels, especially to the NRI Punjabi community. So people go and watch it in groups. But I think that second generation Punjabis abroad also are looking for experimental things. So in a sense, it's kind of where Marathi cinema was,
Mhm.
say, 10 years ago. We are poised in a very interesting way that new things, new storylines and story arcs can be explored. So I would love to do a Punjabi film actually. I'm working in that direction very actively.
Mhm.
Now that the government is also trying to support and, give more permissions for shooting and making film cities, and not just in Chandigarh but outskirts of Chandigarh also. So yeah,
So soon,
I def
soon we'll hear something.
I hope so. I mean, I hope I can act in a coming of age new Punjabi film
Mhm.
also, that like, that's coming of age for independent cinema in Punjab.
So apart from producing, you would like to act also, right?
Yes, of course.
And and you can speak fluent Punjabi.
I'll have to brush it up because it sounds like city Punjabi, but I can speak Punjabi, of course. I
Uh,
might have to learn, read and write Punjabi, but that's okay. I can learn it. It's not so difficult and it's a beautiful, sweet language.
yeah. So a mother to be, a wife already, a producer, a busy actor. Do you think there's so much on platter? Do you have a priority list, already ready?
I don't have a priority list, but I have a pretty, I have a good idea how I envision my calendar to be.
Mm.
Like I know that after this round of promotions and interviews is over, in the first week of May, I'll take a little breather. I'll take a break to read books and maybe do some painting or explore myself as an artist. Just relax a little bit, slow down the pace of life, get ready for the challenges physically and emotionally and mentally. Um, and after that, I hope to get back to work by say October or November. And in the time that I take off, hopefully I'll do some writing, reading, do some production stuff, because I think it's important to keep yourself engaged and your mind engaged more than anything else. So yeah, I don't have a very big to-do list as much as um I have dreams that I feel like life is too short for.
Mhm. Okay, okay. Last question. One big takeaway from Sanjay Leela Bhansali that will stay with you forever.
His insistence on quality. I think from his first film till his last, till now, that's the one thing I think he has managed to achieve is his absolute insistence on quality.
Right. Okay, since Ahmed is breathing down our neck, I have so many questions. Okay, maybe next time. Okay, thank you so much.